top of it. Look, man, on this video, I want to talk about money and why today it's really the main reason tension is so high and people are more miserable than they've ever been in my lifetime. And I'm sure yours as well. You see, the money's bad. We got bad money. And when you got bad money, it's hard to justify working your ass off, because there used to be this concept of working hard, earning more, and being able to save your money that you've worked hard for and getting some kind of reward from it. But you see, when you understand money and you understand our money today and all fiat money in history, you really truly understand that. It's quick to see that you're not earning what you used to earn a decade or two ago. It's not the same money. That $100 you got right now, it's not the same $100 that it was in 1992. You know, even if you have a $100 bill that was printed in 1992, it's the same value as the $100 bills today. You know, except the fact that there's way more $100 bills out in circulation, which in turn decreases the value of that $100 bills. All of them, they're all going down. So I recommend you guys checking out this documentary, which really breaks all this down to really get you to understand. It's free on YouTube as well. It's a little series. It's called The Hidden Secrets of Money, I believe by Mike Maloney is his name. He does a really great job of explaining the difference between money and currency. And, you know, what we have today that we work hard for, this paper money, not only in the US, but every country has their version of paper money. The euro, the pound, the yen, the yuan, and etc., etc. And some are worth more than others, right? The US dollar happens to be one of the most popular ones, and you know, people even trade the different values of these different currencies against each other, which is a whole nother thing. It's kind of a scam. That's kind of crazy to think about, but we're not talking about that today. These different currencies, right, for different countries, they have slightly different values, and it's kind of crazy to think, like, what would make that money more valuable than my money or my currency? And it's all speculation. It's all just faith, and I believe ours is worth more, and we go to war, so we own more of this, more oil and gold or whatever. But to keep it simply, man, the real money, right? The real money is gold and silver, the hard value assets. You know, these have been real money since the Bible days and even before then. Why is that? I don't know, but it just seems to be what we all agree is worth something. And not to mention hard assets that actually have true value, the things that we give our money for and our currencies for, which are, you know, things like real estate, land, oil, crops, vegetables, fruits, you know, things that people work hard for and pay money for. Those are some kind of form of money, I guess you can say. Assets, vehicles. So again, money, real money, is gold and silver. But currency is really the dollars and the British pounds and the euros. Those are currencies which reflect the value of money, aka gold and silver. And now it gets so deep, man. It's such a scam. But essentially, right, the reason the money is so bad today is because there's a concept of the fact that there's these government, well, not even government agencies, these private banks, which our countries borrow the currencies from, which is, for the US, it's the Federal Reserve, and all these other countries have their version of the Federal Reserve. And, the Federal Reserve, man, is this entity. And it's genius how they did it. These guys are like the best scammers of our lifetime. And if you really look up, and I've known about this for a long time, and it's why I stopped taking life too serious, because it's, we live in a scam world. But it's just, today, and as time progresses, it's so clear. It becomes way more clear how bad it is. You see, because as time goes on, more money gets printed. You see, more money comes into the system. And as more money comes into the system, the existing money that's already been here loses more value. You understand? It decreases in value more and more every year. And you can really see this heavily as of recent, from 2020, when COVID smacked us in the face, and they decided the best thing to do for everyone while they were not able to work and whatnot was to print a megaton of money. I mean, trillions of dollars worth of money. I mean, everybody got their check. I remember getting that check. Did you get your check? Your stimulus? I remember it was like $1,400, and I think there was one for $600. I don't remember. It was a good chunk though. $1,400 to get just sent to your bank. I mean, initially it's like, oh my God, this is amazing, right? It was amazing. It was like, oh shit. It was a nice boost. It helped out. And so ideally, you think it sounds good. It sounds great. Everybody gets $1,400 or whatever. But nobody really if everybody understood money, they would have immediately said, no, we don't want that, because that money has to come from somewhere. Right? That money didn't just come from a rich person's pockets. They didn't just donate that. No. They printed that. They made it up out of nowhere. They made more of it from thin air, like magic. And at the time, again, 2020, it was a great time. And 2021, things were good. 2022, it was cool. I remember gas prices were low around that time, and things were pretty cheap. But soon after, man, it became really clear for me. I really recognized it, and I was waiting. I knew it was a matter of time before shit was gonna get out of control. But I didn't realize how bad it was until recently, the 2023, 2024, the price of everything is just gone up so much. This inflation, right? And you remember how the government was saying, oh, it's only a temporary, blah, 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 don't worry, it'll go back to normal. But if you guys understand the Federal Reserve and the money printers, you guys know it's not going back to normal. I hope you know that. I hope you don't listen to the government and their lies, because they lie all day to make you feel how they need you to feel. And as we can see, prices have not gone down on a lot of things. Some stuff kind of fluctuates, but it's just this domino effect. And you can see it in every business, every company, every business that sells something, every service. And you got to ask yourself, man, like, if somebody has to raise their price here, like let's say grocery stores, okay, they raise their prices. And then, the gas prices, they kind of, well, not use gas, because that can always go down for whatever reason. There's like infinite oil, but that's a whole nother subject. Okay, let's say retail. Okay, retail, let's say clothing, those things go up, you know, so they got to raise their prices. And vehicles, cars, their prices had to go up. Homes, home prices had to go up. They always been going up. They steadily go up. That's something that we all know. And this is a great example right here about homes. Let's use homes for example, right? Because why do a lot of people choose to dump such a giant portion of their net worth into homes? And they all do it for the same reason. Many people use their home as their main investment. They use their home as a way to grow their money, grow their wealth. They put a huge chunk of their net worth into their home in hopes and the knowledge that it'll go up. Since we've been alive, that's been a concept of people they know the value of their home will go up. No matter what their home is, no matter where they live, no matter how shitty the house is, they just know the home price will go up. But why is that? Have you ever asked yourself? See, you got to ask why. If you don't know why, then you'll just walk around here and things will just happen to you and you'll just take it. Versus being able to prepare for the attack from the enemy, that they're so subtle in how they just F us. I mean, they just F us so good because nobody really takes time to ask these important questions. But home prices go up. Why is that? Now ask yourself, home prices go up, guaranteed. It's like a thing, real estate always goes up in price over time. But nothing changed about the home. Right? Check that. Think about that. The home itself did not change. Nothing changed. In fact, it got older. It deteriorated. Some parts are not working like they used to. Yeah, sometimes you upgrade things, but at the same time, it's like, look at California, for example. There's houses that are just super regular that used to be like 50,000 just a few decades ago. And today, it's just, they're like $1 million houses, and they literally look super basic. They're like one story houses, basic, one single family homes. And there's no extra added features to it, no special movie theaters in the house or jacuzzis, none of that. It's just a basic house, $1 million. Why? Because the money's bad. Yeah, the money is bad. You see? And people think it's fine, you know? The boomers, the people who've been here before us and just go along with it. They say, oh, that's fine. I'll get my house and it'll go up, and I retire. I'll sell my home, cash out. I'm good. Everybody that invested in their home in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s, they want to cash out today because home prices are going up. Okay, fine. Fantastic. You won. But nobody ever thought to say, why did the value of your house go up so crazy over that time period? It's because of the money, man. The money's bad. They printed more money. And so everything has to go up in price because there's more money in circulation. And it takes more money to buy the same things that were way less. You know, gold, man. If you guys, I recommend, man. And I used to not even be a big fan of gold and hard precious metals. Me, I like the stock market. The stock market, if you're going to invest, that's the thing to do. Buy the best companies. You can get the most bang for your buck. But it does take a lot of research and homework, and you got to know what you're doing. But I will say, as of recently, especially last year when Trump got elected, gold went crazy. It finally started booming. It was kind of slow before that. The past few decades, it's been kind of slow. But I think truly Now listen to me. You might be able to cash out on this, but gold, I truly believe, will go crazy over the next, basically for the rest of our life. It's gonna go crazy because people are gonna wake up and understand that that's the true money. You understand? That's the true, and silver, even silver I think is gonna be good. I'm not a big fan of silver, even though it's still good, but gold, man, get you some gold. And because people are gonna wake up, the whole world is gonna wake up. Bitcoin, you know, people argue about Bitcoin. I used to be a big fan of Bitcoin, but you know, I saw some stuff from a guy who's got money, an interview on YouTube, I forget his name, but he said some stuff that made sense to me about Bitcoin, which you got to think about it, man. Bitcoin, somebody created Bitcoin, right? Satoshi Nakamoto, or whoever the hell that guy is, right? Could be the CIA, who knows, right? But Bitcoin was created by somebody, and supposedly they're sitting on a whole bunch of it, and you know, they haven't touched it or whatever, supposedly, allegedly. But if you think about it, if you made Bitcoin, right, you're worth $1 trillion or several $100 billion. And you got to think, man, if you, think if you made Bitcoin and everybody just agreed that it's a good form of money or currency or digital, whatever, crypto, who knows what it is. It's worth a lot. It's worth 100 G's. If you made Bitcoin, right, and everybody's on board, everybody's buying it, your mom, your grandma, everybody loves it. But I gotta sneeze. Okay, no, it's gone. Anyways, so if you made Bitcoin, and he made this point so clear and it made so much sense, and I'm watching the price of Bitcoin, I'm watching it, right? It has these cycles every 4 years that it's supposed to explode, and it did up until like 2021. That was the last really big explosive cycle. Even though when Trump got elected, it kind of exploded, but it didn't explode the same way it used to. It used to go crazy, like it used to triple and quadruple. Now it's kind of like, all right, it kind of has plateaued a little bit, and it's kind of fine. Now the institutions are in it, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to bore you to death, but pay attention. This is important about Bitcoin if you're thinking about doing that versus gold. Think about it. If you own Bitcoin, you're the maker of Bitcoin, and everybody's on board with it. If you pay attention to the price of Bitcoin, and what he said is, wouldn't you just use the Bitcoin that you have trillions of or billions of, and why won't you just sell the Bitcoin that you own for real assets like gold and stocks and land and oil and things that are real? You just slowly sell little bits of it and get the real assets. And that way, nobody else can recognize the fact that you're selling it. And everybody still believes the hype of it from a few years ago. And over time, yeah, the price is going to keep going up. Bitcoin's going to keep going up. But it's not going to go up in the same ridiculous rate that it used to. Mark my words, I truly believe Bitcoin's not going to go up astronomically. You see, it's not going to beat like Nvidia or gold or anything like that. Look at market cap. Pay attention to market cap. The market cap of Bitcoin is, let's say, it's just over 2 trillion. Every $50,000 that Bitcoin gains as its price is about $1 trillion, right? When it hit 50K, it was about $1 trillion. 100K, about 2 trillion. So it's just over 2 trillion. So that means when it hits $150,000 in value of one Bitcoin, that means the market cap of Bitcoin will be $3 trillion, which is still not even touching the top companies in America, you know, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, right? Apple is like 3 trillion something. Microsoft, 3 trillion something. Nvidia was the first company to hit 4 trillion. Currently, 4.5 trillion, right? And I'm thinking, Bitcoin is not going to pass these companies. It's not worth more because it's some It's numbers on a screen. It's not real value. It's not a company that produces products and services that we can see, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Bitcoin is not going to just jump to 150K like it should. It should have been there already by now if it kept just jumping at every cycle. It's not going to go to definitely $200,000 anytime soon. Maybe in a few years, yeah, people talking about it's hitting $1 million in the next 8 years or whatever. Good luck. Maybe. I would love to see it, and if it does, congrats. But I'm betting against that. I don't think so. I think it'll go up, but not at that same rate. So that's my argument against Bitcoin, man. Me personally, I'm into assets. I'm buying stocks, assets like stocks and gold. I'm about to go in on gold and land. Eventually, when my money gets up, that's where I'm really aiming to get. But I'm going on a tangent, man. I don't want to bore y'all to death. I get really excited about this topic. I love talking about finances, even though my money ain't right now like that. But I do understand money heavily. I understand assets and value. And, you know, that's why I'm looking to get back up, man. And I'm looking to trade here soon, trade my way back to freedom, even though I haven't had luck with it at all, really. But anyways, man, I hope you got some value from this and understand why the money is bad. And hope you understand the importance of real assets and why you shouldn't hold on to your dollars, because they're losing value literally every day. And don't get caught slipping like our ancestors who used to save dollars thinking they were doing something, and were not focused on buying assets and holding real assets. No, you should be saving your money enough to the point where you can buy some kind of asset that's on discount. So you get it at a good price and you know it will go up in value. So that's how you really win. Read The Richest Man in Babylon. It's the same concept. You save your money and you buy assets and you rinse and repeat, and you keep doing that and you'll be fine. Excuse me. But do that and you'll be fine, man. All right, get you some assets. Don't save these dollars because the cash is losing value, all right? But I'm about to get up out of here. You got these four-wheeler people out here going crazy. And yeah, I'm about to holler at y'all on the next one, man. Like the video. Yeah, like the video. If you like it, man, it's free. It's free to like, man. Y'all be slipping on the likes, man. But look out for me. And subscribe and comment. Let me know your thoughts, man. I hope you guys understand money. And check out that documentary series, man. It's really valuable. It'll change your mind about everything if you don't already get that stuff. So that's it, man. I appreciate y'all watching. Holla at y'all in the next one. Peace.